In this video, I'll show you how to build a simple website chatbot in N8N and how to integrate it into your website. The bot at the moment is very simple, just an OpenAI model with a bit of memory, but you can personalize it and add tools, retrieval augmented generation, or basically anything else you need. If you want to download this workflow and code I use in this video, and if you're interested in more automation and AI tutorials, check out my community at school.com/bottribe, where you can find more resources on AI, N8N, and automation. All right, so with that said, let's get into it. All right, so let's get started. Now I'm here in my N8N, and I have a new workflow called website chatbot. Okay, so let's go ahead and add the first step, and that's going to be a webhook call. Let me just increase the size here a little bit, so hopefully you can see that better. So let's configure this a little bit. So first of all, the HTTP method is going to be post. Okay, and the path, let's change that to website-chatbot. Okay, just to make it easier to kind of read and work with. All right, so that's basically all we need here. Now let's add another node, and that's going to be an AI agent. Okay, so the AI agent, we're going to configure it in a little while. So for now, let's just leave it at that, and let's add a chat model, and that's going to be OpenAI chat model. I'm going to leave 4.1 mini for now, and you can change that as well. If you don't have a OpenAI account, of course you will need one if you're working with AI agents. So go ahead and create one at platform.openai.com. Create that, and then go ahead and add or create your credentials, add your API key, and that should be basically it. It's very simple and very straightforward. Okay, so since this is a chatbot, let's add a very basic memory, a simple memory with maybe a 10 window context window length. Okay, so I think this is going to be, we will need to personalize this key. So let me just disable this for now. And let's just complete the workflow before we actually run it. So here I have another node, and this is going to be, let's search for webhook. And I'm going to select the respond to webhook. And here, instead of first incoming item, well, we're just going to leave it at that for now. And let's go back to the first element. And then for respond, that's going to be using respond to webhook node. Okay, so we are going to wait for a response. We're not going to respond immediately to the user request. Okay, so that's basically it for now. Now let's make a call to the system and see that it works correctly. So let me just go to my community here in Classroom under workflow repository. We should have the website chatbot, and here we have a curl command. So let me just copy that. Now, importantly here, I have webhook test and website chatbot. So this is the URL that we're calling. Okay, make sure this URL is going to be exactly the one that you have here. Okay, so this is for the test URL. We're going to use that, copy that, and make sure it's the same in the curl command. So let's copy the curl command and then open a terminal window or a command prompt window if you're on a Windows PC. Let's go ahead and execute the workflow. Go to the terminal window and paste in the curl command. And there should be some issue, but at least we got the first response from the webhook node. So let's have a look at the AI agent. We need to change the prompt or the user message. We need to define it below, and down here we need to find the body message, click and drag, and we have our prompt. Of course, you can personalize this if you like with a system message to give it more information, whatever you like to do. That is fine. For me, I'm just going to leave it by blank by default. And then let's click on execute step, and we have some output from the bot. Okay, now this is important. The simple memory was already deactivated. So if you have an error here, deactivate the memory and then run your agent. And now let's go back to simple memory, and we need to set the session key. Okay, so for the session key, we need to define it below. Let's look under variables and content. Under workflow, we can click and drag this ID, and that should be fine. And we can now activate our memory. Okay, so let's save the workflow. Let's execute, go back to our terminal window, and then run that again. And then we got the response, hello, how can I assist you today? Don't worry about everything else. It's just important that we got that response with the output here. Okay, so we're pretty much ready to work on our integration with our website. But before we do that, make sure the workflow is saved, and then let's enable it. So let's make it active. Now, since we made it active, we're going to use the production URL here instead of the test URL under webhook. Okay, so make sure you're using this when we edit our HTML file. Okay, so again, under in the community, down below here, we have an example HTML page. Now, of course, you can integrate this in any page you like, right? You have the URL, you can just call that URL and retrieve messages, but this is just an example of how you might integrate it. So if you want to work with this example, go ahead and download that example page, and I have it here under ChatBot. I've downloaded it, and I'm going to just open it with Visual Studio Code. You can open it with any editor you like. I just have this installed, so it's very easy for me. Okay, so that's basically it. Now, it looks like a lot of code, but it's actually mostly CSS, so you don't really need to worry too much about it. The important thing is that you have the ChatBot URL, so make sure you have the correct production URL here. And that's basically all there is to it. And let me show you what that gives us. So if we open it up in a browser, it's going to just look like this. We have a title and a subtitle, and we have the floating button here that opens up a window. So let me just increase this a little bit. And if I click on that, we have a chatbot window where we can talk to the chatbot. So, hey, how's it going? And then we have a bot replying, and this says, I'm doing great, whatever it is. So it also has a bit of memory, so we added that. It's just 10 lines of dialogue, but that should be enough. So if I say something like, I like watermelon, and I ask it then, what do I like? It says that I like watermelon, so it has a bit of memory, it can remember stuff. But of course, you can add a lot more functionality. You can add tools, you can add personalized knowledge. So things like RAG or retrieval augmented generation, where you can add your own knowledge base to the bot and have it reply to your users with the knowledge base of your own company. Okay, if you want to learn how to do that, check out this video that will be suggested next. But in any case, that's all for this video. That's how you would create a very simple chatbot and maybe integrate it in your own website. Okay, so that's it for this video. Don't forget to check out the community over at school.com/podtribe. But in any case, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.